Hello and very warm welcome to all. My name is Evanisha and today I'm going to explain you the chapter The Thief's Story. Chapter 1.2 The Thief's Story, page number 7. Story is written by Ruskin Bond, is an Indian author of British descent. He lives with his adopted family in Landor in Mussoorie, India. The Indian Council for Child Education has recognized his role in the growth of children's literature in India. He got the Sahitya Academy Award in 1992 for Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra for his published work in English. He was awarded as the Padma Shri in 1999 and Padma Bhushan in 2014. The thief's story is a realization of a thief, Hari, who deceives his master Anil. Having been known that Hari had stolen the money, yet Anil continues to be normal and did not make Hari feel bad. It shows the strong relationship of people who comes from different backgrounds, though the value of love and respect kept them tied. Now let's understand the chapter. Open page number 8. 1.2 The Thief's Story. I was still a thief when I met Anil, and though only 15, I was an experienced and fairly successful hand. Now the thief is talking about that how well to do he was. He is giving his introduction in these two lines. Anil was watching a wrestling match where I approached him. Approached means when he met him. He was about 25, a tall, lean fellow, and he looked easygoing, kind and simple, enough for my purpose. What was his purpose? His purpose was to steal, to rob. I hadn't had much luck of late and thought I might be able to get into the young man's confidence. You look a bit of wrestler yourself, I said. A little flattery helps in making friends. Now he is trying to be friended with him and he is doing flattery. Flattery is the insincere praise. So do you, he replied, which put me off for a moment because at that time I was rather thin. Well, I said modestly, I do wrestle a bit. Now, modestly, it means in a very humble way, and modestly is the adverb of manner also here. What is your name? Hari Singh. I lied. Now, do you know why he lied? Yes, because he doesn't want it to be caught. I took a new name every month. That kept me ahead of police and my former employers. Means previous places which he has worked. He doesn't want his original identity to be sought by anyone. After this introduction, Anil talked about the well-oiled wrestlers who were grunting, lifting, and throwing each other about. Grunting means making low guttural sounds. I didn't have much to say. Anil walked away. I followed casually. Casually means in a very informal way. Hello again, he said. I gave him my most appealing smile. I want to work for you, I said. Appealing means attention giving. But I can't pay you. I thought that over for a minute. Perhaps I had misjudged my man. I asked, can you feed me? Can you cook? I can cook. I lied again. If you can cook, then maybe I can feed you. He took me to his room over the Jamna sweet shop and told me I could sleep on the balcony. Jamna sweet shop is the name of the shop and it's a proper noun. Now, till now, how many proper nouns we have seen? The name of the particular things, person, places like Hari, Anil, and name of the shop, Jamna Sweet Shop. So I could sleep on the balcony. On is the preposition here. But the meal I cooked that night must have been terrible because Anil gave it to a stray dog. Who is a stray dog? The dogs which are on streets and they do not have homes, and told me to be off. But I just hung around. Hung is the past tense of hang and it is an irregular verb. Smiling in my most appealing way, and he couldn't help laughing. Later, he patted me on the head and said, never mind, he would teach me to cook. He also taught me to write my name and said he would soon teach me to write whole sentences and to add numbers. I was grateful. Grateful means very thankful for all the gestures made by Anil. If I knew that once I could write like an educated man, there would be no limit to what I could achieve. It was quite pleasant working for Anil. I made the tea in the morning and then would take my time buying the day's supplies. Day's supplies means essentials, things for the day, usually making a profit of about a rupee a day. I think he knew I made a little money this way, but he did not seem to mind. This means that despite knowing that Hari is taking money, yet Anil never got angry. Anil made money by fits and starts. Fits and start means in short, irregular intervals. He would borrow 1 week, lend 1 week. Borrow and lend both are opposite words of each other. He kept worrying about his next check. But as soon as it arrived, he would go out and celebrate. It seems he wrote for magazines, a queer way to make a living. One evening, he came home with a small bundle of notes, saying he had just sold a book to a publisher. At night, I saw him tuck the money under the mattress. I had been working for Anil for almost a month and, apart from cheating on the shopping, had not done anything in my line of work. What was his line of work? Stealing and robbing. I had every opportunity for doing so. Anil had given me a key to the door and I could come and go as I pleased. Pleased means whenever he wanted, he can come and go. He was the most trusting person I have ever met. Now he's telling about the qualities of Anil as well. He is the most trusting person he has ever met in his life, and that is why it was difficult to rob him. It's easy to rob a greedy man because he can afford to be robbed, but it's difficult to rob a careless man. Sometimes he doesn't even notice he's been robbed, and that takes all the pleasure out of the work. Well, it's time I did some real work. I told myself I'm out of practice. And if I don't take the money, he will only waste it on his friends. After all, he doesn't even pay me. Now, the greedy mind of Hari is asking him to steal that money which Anil brought. Anil was asleep. A beam of moonlight stepped over the balcony and fell on the bed. I sat up on the floor, considering the situation. If I took the money, I could catch the 10:30 express to Lucknow. Slipping out of the blanket, I crept out to the bed. Anil was sleeping peacefully. His face was clear and unlined. Even I had more marks on my face, though mine were mostly scars. My hand slid under the mattress, searching for the notes. When I found them, I drew them out. Drew them means taking them out without a sound. Anil sighed in his sleep and turned on his side towards me. I was startled and quickly crawled out of the room. When I was on the road, I began to run. I had the notes at my waist, held there by the string of my pajamas. I slowed down to a walk and counted the notes. 600 rupees in 50s. I could live like an oil rich Arab for a week or two. When I reached the station, I did not stop at the ticket office. I had never bought a ticket in my life, but dashed straight to the platform. The Lucknow Express was just moving out. The train had still to pick up speed, and I should have been able to jump into one of the carriages. Carriages means compartments, but I hesitated. For some reason I can't explain, and I lost the chance to get away. Now, in this paragraph, there is a realization which Hari is feeling, and he is hesitating to get into the train, to get into the compartment. Some things in his unconscious mind is not allowing him to get away. When the train had gone, I found myself standing alone on the deserted platform. I had no idea where to spend the night. I had no friends, believing that friends were more trouble than help, and I did not want to make anyone curious by staying at one of the small hotels near the station. The only person I knew really well was the man I had robbed. Leaving the station, I walked slowly through the bazaar. In my short career as a thief, I had made a study of men's faces when they had lost their goods. The greedy man showed fear, the rich man showed anger, the poor man showed acceptance. But I knew that Anil's face, when he discovered the theft, would show only touch of sadness, not for the loss of money, but for the loss of the trust. I found myself in the Maidan and sat down on a bench. The night was chilly, it was cold, it was early November, and a light drizzle added to my discomfort. Soon it was raining quite heavily. My shirt and pajamas stuck to my skin, and a cold wind blew the rain across my face. I went back to the bazaar and sat down in the shelter of the clock tower. The clock showed midnight. I felt for the notes. They were damp from the rain. Damp means wet. Anil's money in the morning, he would probably have given me 2 or 3 rupees to go to the cinema. Probably means certainly. But now I had it all. I couldn't cook his meals, run to the bazaar, or learn to write the whole sentences anymore. I had forgotten about them in the excitement of the theft. Whole sentences. I knew I could one day bring them more than a few 100 rupees. It was a simple matter to steal, and sometimes as simple to be caught. But to be a really big man, a clever and respected man, was something else. I should go back to Anil, I told myself, if only to learn to read and write. In these two paragraphs, Hari is realizing and he wanted to go back to Anil. Hari is realizing all the love which Anil has given to him and is feeling so bad that he has stolen his money. I hurried back to the room feeling very nervous, for it is much easier to steal something than to return it undetected. I opened the door quietly, then stood in the doorway. In a clouded moonlight, Anil was still asleep. I crept to the head of the bed and my hand came up with the notes. I felt his breath on my hand. I remained still for a minute. Here, meaning of still is silent. Then my hand found the edge of the mattress and slipped under it with the notes. I awoke late next morning to find that Anil had already made the tea. He stretched out his hand towards me. There was a 50 rupee note between his fingers. My heart sank. He was feeling very depressed. I thought I had been discovered. I made some money yesterday, he explained. Now you will be paid regularly. My spirits rose. He became very hopeful. Spirits rose means becoming very hopeful. But when I took the note, I saw it was wet from the night's rain. They were the same notes which he carried. Today we'll start writing sentences, he said. He knew, but neither his lips nor his eyes showed anything. I smiled at Anil in my most appealing way, and the smile came by itself without any effort. I hope you have understood the chapter. If any doubts, do let me know. The next video is based on this chapter only, with parts of speech, vocabulary in the grammar content. So do watch both the videos. Thank you so much. Take care, stay safe, stay indoors. Bye bye.